to the Black Vines Games Podcast. My name is Jeff. Joining me this week is Josh. I got a new keyboard. Josh, poor.
I'm poor. Yeah. Oh wait, no, that's bad. It's bad. Oh no. I figured that out. We're at Memory Express.
We went to
You're
Memory
like,
Express today, which meant that Jeff got a brand new computer.
Oh yeah, 100%.
No, not a brand new computer. Sorry.
Keyboard.
I brought a brand new keyboard. I also played a video game this week.
Cool. I also played a video game this week, so that's even better.
Yeah. So I bought a brand new keyboard. I bought a Ducky 1. It has red switches. And before you say, man, aren't red switches bad? Yes, I wanted browns, and they didn't have any browns. And
they were like, you have to wait a week, and you're like,
I was like, well, the best part is I was like, I don't really want reds. Do you have browns? Do you have anything that's brown related? And they're like, no. And I'm like, okay. And then I was like, what about the other one? And they showed me the review. They showed me the actual product page, and I was like, about 5 seconds away from going, yeah, I'll take that. And then I saw the 2-star review, and I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'll take the red. I'll take the red keyboard. So now I have an actual keyboard. It's very nice, and it's set up, and it has a removable keyboard. And oh my god, I like it. It's very nice.
Nice.
I didn't think.
Does it have the numpad that you asked for?
Yes, and it's
good,
RPG.
Good. Oh,
and the only thing I don't like about it right now is that it has the enter key is orange.
Yeah, I was going to ask, why was it orange?
I have no idea, but I'm pretty sure. So if I check the website, I'm pretty sure it comes with I'm pretty sure I can swap out that keyboard key if I want to.
I mean, you can get 3D printed keys to fit in those slots too.
Yeah, well, you know what, Josh? I'm not that sophisticated. I know.
Can't find a cool guy on Facebook or.
I'm not going to become one of those gaming keyboard snobs who's like, oh, my keyboard, I build my own keyboards, man. And I'm going to be like, I fucking hate you. I actually fucking
I kind of like the idea of just making the whole thing if you have the know-how to do it.
Well, yeah,
but yeah.
That seems like the greatest thing in the world. But the problem is I would rather just have the keyboard and not worry about it. And
I just want the keyboard now.
Yeah.
That's the difference. I'm this now.
Yeah.
Also, what was the brand of that keyboard? It was
it's called Ducky.
Ducky, right. For whatever reason, my head went Pearl or Ruby or something, and I'm like, no, it's not that.
Yeah. I don't know. It's funny because me and you, while we were there, we were also like, hey, do you want to play video games and upgrade your computer? And then they were like, well, we would totally sell you that and help you out with that and everything like that. And then we told him the price, and he's like, ooh. And it was
I'm like, oh, you can't make a $1,500 computer nowadays. That's kind of sad.
Yeah, and they're like, I like how I was like, can we get the ARC GPU? Can we get the ARC GPU? And he's like, no, take the 4060. And I'm like, but we specifically want the ARC GPU.
That's the new one coming out, isn't it?
That's out.
Oh, that's out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I think the other reasons, that's sold out.
Yeah. We're
yeah, of course
we're both sitting there, and I'm like, I don't think you understand. I would rather not spend the money on a 4060 because the 4060 is a ripoff. And loses to this GPU. And
it's far look, even though you told me to not listen to Linus Tech Tips, I still look at his videos, and a lot of his stats across the board say that it's not great.
When did I say don't listen to Linus Tech Tips?
I mean, you're like, no, we only listen to
Gamers Nexus.
Gamers Nexus.
I mean, so here's the problem.
Here's the thing. See, here's the thing. Okay, I like Linus more because he was a little more like has visuals and has a little more dumbed down conversation topics. So me and my baby brain go, yay, I understand it. While Gamers Nexus, he could just yammer on and on and on about little knickknacks, and I go, I don't get it.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, like that's the difference. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna go with Linus Tech Tips because
Linus Tech Tips is the thing I like about Linus Tech Tips is that for like videos and stuff, like for entertainment value, Linus Tech Tips is actually really good.
Yes.
For like information and raw information,
yeah,
it's Linus Tech Tips doesn't.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, Linus Tech Tips doesn't give you all the info, but but for the info that you want, it's gonna. I think they're both are gonna be the same, but like the info that you care about, Linus is gonna probably do that first before doing anything else.
Correct.
Yeah.
So like Linus Tech Tips is like fine, it's okay, I can deal with it. I'm not gonna cry about it, and it's entertaining content. Like he has some of my favorite tech videos are Linus Tech Tips videos because they're just like it's him talking with the Apple. It's him like fucking around with something and like completely going bonkers. Whereas the Gamers Nexus videos, like just for raw like information, him and Hardware Unboxer are the kings. And I know that like you don't agree with that, but like I just prefer Gamers Nexus because it's like he does a video where it's like it's him criticizing Asus's warranty support.
Yeah, he does more stuff like, oh, whose warranty support is good, and then realizing, oh, these guys is running a scam.
Or he does the video where he's like talking about how EK is like fucking over its like former employees, and like he's like, this isn't okay, and we shouldn't allow it. Whereas Linus Tech Tips is like, I don't really think that Linus Tech Tips has this issue anymore. So when I say that, like, take it with a grain of salt. But like Linus Tech Tips has had issues in the past where they're like, we tested a piece of hardware and it wasn't good enough, and they had the backpack issue where they were like, trust me, bro, like we're going to support this product till the end of time. And it's like, okay, it's one thing to say, hey, trust me, bro, we're going to keep your product, we're going to keep your investment safe, we're going to make sure that, you know, this, we're going to stand by our product and stuff like that. It's another thing when you're taking money and you're instead of coming out and being firm with your product and saying no questions asked over the exchange and stuff like that. It's something where it's a little bit more, I don't want to say scummy, but definitely like, hey, there's issues that need to be sorted out with this product. I will say this though, like in the time I've given them a little bit more of a chance, and I haven't been disappointed yet. I think that the moves that they had made have been really good. The one thing I'm a little bit upset about is like they fired Emily, who, you know, hey, Emily kind of leaving is kind of like surprising, but also at the same time, it's like, am I going to get upset that Emily left? No, not really. Am I going to probably find out like in 2 years that Emily's started her own tech channel and it's probably going to be kind of the same thing? Sure. And that's okay. And like, I appreciate what Linus Tech Tips is now than what it was before, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That said, I think that they have a Sony PlayStation fanboy who annoys the fuck out of me, even though he has some of my favorite videos, like the brightest TV. So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry for the rant.
Mm-hmm. Man.
But yeah,
I mean, we gotta fill time on this podcast.
Well, we can fill time. There's another rant coming up soon.
Oh no! Can I talk about one of the few games I played this week?
Is it Antilism?
It's no, hold on. I gotta go all the way. I gotta go all the way to the top of my list, but it takes forever for it to load.
Hold on, is this game in? I go to this game and it's like, hey, this game has sexual nudity and stuff like that.
Which game?
Okay, give me a second. I don't know how to say it.
Oh, Atlas?
Atlas, yes.
So Atlas, it's kind of odd. Basically, the game itself is like this asynchronous MMO,
right?
Although it's built in a way so that if you're playing with friends and then you go offline and go, well, I'm still going to continue playing, you could totally do that and it's going to be fine. You won't lose any progress between you and your friends. The progress is more linked to you. Mm-hmm. So therefore, you could just go back to your friends and go, oh, we still haven't done that mission. Oh, that's fine. I just did, optional side quests for an hour. So let's go do that mission then. So it's all hunky dory. The game's gameplay is kind of unique. Of like, it's an action, kind of action platformer. Basically, all of the controls are that of like, okay, it's more over the head or like over the shoulder type of feel and locomotion, but you have more anime air dodges and more different attacks depending on what weapon you have equipped.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I know I had the Wolverine claws and the Wizard Staff. Wizard Staff just lets you shoot missiles. So whatever the hell that staff is, like ice or fire or whatever, you shoot the missiles that are fire or ice.
So
and then
I was going to say this is like, okay, imagine if you will, a AAA video game comes out.
Yeah.
And its name is
Boobish.
No. I'm trying to think of the name. Demon Age Male Guard. Yes, Demon Age Male Guard.
Demon Age Male Guard.
Okay. And they have a breast slider in the game. Okay.
Okay.
And imagine that their breast slider only allows you to have like an ACOP. And then this breast slider, you can have fucking the biggest fucking tits on the planet. You can have
depending on the species, but you still have pretty big boobs.
Yeah, like you can have pecs that exit the man's body.
Yep, and also they have giant boobage to the big on females to go. Your back is gonna hurt.
Yeah.
And also you can actually bounce that out with a giant ass on a lot of them too.
Yeah. like this is the game equivalent of like, okay, so this is the furry game. Like you can make a furry game.
Yes, it's basically the characters you're playing are like these 5 different races that are all like lizard people, cat people, bunny people. Yeah, like just whatever thing you can think of, it's in there.
It's Animal Crossing characters.
Yes,
to the team.
Pretty close to that. They all have their own special abilities from the get-go. Mm-hmm. And I forget what they are, but I think it's something like stat bonuses depending on what you're doing with that character, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the kind of the selling point of this game was all seeing online streamers play it for the first time and go, I've heard this game's pretty good. Let's check it out. It's like, oh, the character creation is pretty nice. And it lets you do a lot of things. And then it gets to the fucking boob slider. And they're like, is this what it's going to do what I think it does? And it just make it go all the way up and go, oh my God.
This is beautiful.
Oh fuck. And also they get to the thigh section and go, is this gonna do what I think it does? Yep. Yeah, it does.
Yep, because you can tell the game is made by a furry.
Yeah, this is more unapologetic. Like, yeah, I think this guy knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, and like I don't want to say like the game is bad because the game's actually really good and stuff like that.
Yeah, like the combat what you're doing and like how you're fighting against evil foes, and you have dashes and you have dashes, you have air dodges, you have well, air, you have basically you can dodge out of the way of anything like a Dark Souls, and you can also have different unique attacks depending on the weapon to have, like Dark Souls. And also, there's a bunch of magic bullshit going on. So, like Dark Souls, you could buff the shit out of yourself and keep going.
Yeah, like the game is really, really fun.
Yeah,
and I don't know. I don't want to say like, oh well, you know, I think the game is great and wonderful and magnificent and it's the greatest game ever made. It's definitely not. That said, the more I play it, the more I'm like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah,
it's fun.
It's a really good just action based platformer that feels like Dark Souls just to some degree. And also furry stuff on top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also the game's only $10 US, which is really cheap.
Yeah. I purchased it. I purchased it in a week of hold on, I have to look at my activity. I purchased it I think the same week I actually purchased a lot of the games that I bought. So hold on. Oh yeah, you now own that game. Yep. Fantastic. Okay, so I bought. Actually, no, I did not buy it. I bought it. I bought it. I think after Ben did. Before Ben did. Yep. So the little bit I played it, like I've actually really enjoyed it. I wish I could play more of it. It's really fun.
Yeah.
It's literally like the game that it reminds me of is Cube World. Yeah. It reminds me a lot of Cube World, where it's like, oh, like do this, and like this is what you do, and this is how you gain stuff. And it's just like, hey, you know what? I'm having a little bit of fun here. This is really engaging combat. The enemies designs are all cute and everything like that. The one thing I don't like about it is the one thing I will say I don't like about it, and this is just mainly a Jeff issue, is I feel like the game really does. Oh, that's inconvenient. I feel like the game really does have like a couple of issues when it comes to like balancing and stuff like that. But that's also like, hey, I was playing this by myself. So, of course, it's like, hey, I'm going to have issues with this game going forward. So, there's that. I also played another game this week.
Oh.
And I now have a really bad error, but I've been making my way through Dragon Age.
Okay.
And I have completed the opening quest of that game. So before you get recruited by Duncan, the quest is basically you have to help your friend as a mage. You have to help your friend Jones NWO leave, and you have to destroy his flackery, which allows people to control mages and track mages and find out where they are. And the emphasis of this quest is he sits there and he goes, look, okay, they're going to turn me into a mindless slave or an emotionless, mindless human being who basically just accepts orders and does whatever he needs to do.
Okay.
And you're like, okay, I understand that you don't want that to happen to you. And he goes, yeah, and I want to run off with this girl who I know. And you're like, okay, that's fine. You're allowed to do that. And then he goes, by the way, they think I'm a blood mage. And you're like, okay. And he's like, yeah, I'm totally not a blood mage. Wink. And you're like, are you sure you're not a blood mage? Oh, I'm positive, but I'm not a blood mage. And you're like, okay, I guess I'll help you. So then you help him. And you destroy his flackery, you leave, and it turns out that he's a blood mage. And it's like, man, I couldn't see this coming a mile away. This doesn't.
How did I not
How did I
know
not
this?
see him being a blood mage?
Huh.
Are you sure that he's not a blood mage? Oh, I'm positive he's not a blood mage. And it's like, you could just say I am a blood mage, and I would have not helped you regardless. But instead, you lied to me, and now you're a blood mage, and now you're escaping on the loose. But it's okay. He's not a blood mage, guys. So that's that game. And
Relax, guys. He's not a blood mage. Trust me.
He's totally not a blood mage.
But there's blood coming out of his hands, and it looks like he just stabbed himself for no reason.
Punched a hooker in the face.
He's doing bad things. No, relax. It's a cool guy.
Nah, he's fine. He's okay. He's not a blood mage. Trust us. He's not a blood mage. Are you sure he's not a blood mage? We're positive he's not a blood mage. How are you positive that he's not a blood mage? Well, we told you he's not a blood mage. I'm pretty sure that he's a blood mage. Oh no, he's not a blood mage. Okay, you're just being crazy at this point. And what if he is a blood mage? Well, that's a problem that we'll deal with in the future. Okay. So basically, it turns out, he's a blood mage, and he did bad things. And you could imagine my shock and surprise when it turned out that he was blood mage. Yeah. But now I'm in the camp. I'm probably going to get past the camp, and then I'm probably going to be deep in the RPG-ness of this RPG. And there's no Dragon Age right now feels like as if it's the game equivalent of like, hey, do you remember when games were fun and innovative? And it's like, yes, I do remember, because this game came out in 2007, which is a year before Mass Effect 2. And they're like, do you remember when this game was like actually like good and fun? And you're just like, yes, I remember. I want to go back to that. So
I just want to go back.
Yeah. And like, you know what? For a game that's like about like $17 or let's look. Dragon Age Veilguard is $51. Origins is $5.99. So for $5.99, you can buy Origins on Steam.
Oh.
Or you can spend 10 times the amount and actually play Veilguard, which is the newest one. I would personally recommend that you just spend $5.99 and play the game not on Steam. Yeah.
I'm gonna get a Steam version.
Yeah. I have it on Origin because it was like free, and I was like, I'd pay this eventually, and then I was like, this is a horrible idea. I did. I made a horrible mistake.
How could I
do this? But Josh, you played a video game this week, though.
I have played video games as well. I've played Wheel of Katamari Reroll Royal Reverie. And also played For the King 2, which is a really good cooperative strategy RPG with dice rolls, so you have to worry about not dying. So basically the For the King 2 is like For the King 1, except they expanded upon a lot of more things in that game. And also they changed some of the mechanics a little different. If the one thing I can remember is that they still kept the focus system, which, hey, I really want to get a cool item from this dice roll of, hey, if I succeed in this dice roll, I'll get a cool benefit from it. But if I fail, either it kills me or it just breaks the item or whatever. And it's like, well, I could just use my focus to add more slots to this, or just pad this out so that it will take up the dice roll slot so it doesn't fail me immediately. So it's like these are immediately successes, but you can only have so much focus in order to, pay these off, do that certain action. So you have to be like very stringent on like, do I want to do this for this door to kick in this door, or do I want it to use it for opening up this box that could have a bomb in it, or do I want to freaking like, oh, I'm gonna do a sneak attack on this dude that we know is gonna be tough, so I could spend it on this, that type of stuff. They kept that mechanic in. What else? Oh, it is also the expansion to the story of the first game, where it's like 20 years later after your first team was successful in getting rid of all the darkness in the realm. And also it's apparently your characters are kind of like descendants of the first characters, I think. Although it's pretty funny is that when I was playing this with Leslie and Ben, we all kind of chose the same outfit, but we're just different colors. So we're kind of Power Rangers in some weird way in a fantasy game.
Oh.
It was just kind of funny how just slowly we're like picking our characters, we're chatting a bit, and then we finally done, we got to look at each other's characters, we're like, oh, we're all just the same thing but different colors.
We're all the same character.
We all wore the same dragon helmets, which showed off this giant dragon head. And then we all wore the same, like, cool looking futuristic, like more modern clothes, but fancy flavored kind of modern clothes in the For the King 2. And yeah, like, and we just picked different colors that we liked. And then by the, and when we're finished, we looked at each other like, oh, I guess we're just Power Rangers. Yeah, we're just kind of Power Rangers. What else? Oh, and new classes you can pick in the game too. Although I cannot tell you what are the new classes you can play, because they're kind of weird. Because there's stuff like typical ranger, your typical paladin, but you could be blacksmith. I can remember you could be entertainer or jester. You can be, oh, what else? God, yeah, some of these classes are like, oh, this is more like, this guy came from like the farmland. You could be farmstead. You could be guy from the farmland, and then build your character from there. And it's actually kind of interesting because it's like, oh, these are characters that are like literally pulled from their literal jobs from medieval fantasy world, and they're like, well, we got to go on a grand adventure and kill shit. So I'm gonna bring my smithing hammer with me. The other guy goes like, well, I'm really good at sewing, but I can sing well, so I'm the bard. Like, it was kind of funny. Like, I was like, oh, these character classes feel really like down to earth. What else? Oh, and all the graphics and all the looks of the game actually I felt like it got a good upgrade, because it feels like everything about it's like, oh, everything just feels better.
Everything is just better.
Yeah, it's like, it's the true trope of like, you play the first game, it's good. Play the second game, gets better. Play the third game, it either gets even better or it gets way worse.
Yeah. That's good.
So the second game, so For the King 2, even better. That's basically the quote.
That's good.
Yes. That was that one video game I played this week.
Well, that's good. Did you buy any video games this week?
Katamari.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I saw it on sale, and I noticed that it was like the super duper edition of Katamari, plus it came with DLC, and it didn't make it that much more expensive either. So I was like, yeah, I'll get this Katamari. Why not? And it turns out this Katamari game, actually, I guess Namco still has the source code for We Love Katamari, because the more that I was playing it, the more I started to realize that, oh, they added more shit to this game that was never there in the first place. Yeah, and I was like, huh, that was just nothing bad about adding more stuff. If anything, they have added more levels. They have added an extra options screen, which was kind of obtuse to get to, but I started to realize, oh, they probably couldn't edit this page of the screen at all, so they had to add another layer to just so you can get to the other stuff about the game that was updated. So it was like, oh, I get it.
Okay.
It was just kind of weird to get to.
Well,
yeah, and also the game is everything. It's absolutely everything of Katamari. You're rolling a ball, you're rolling up shit, you're making your snowball of garbage even bigger. You're trying to get to win whatever challenge it is, like trying to collect as many flowers as you can to collect all the fishes in the underwater level in this lake, or you just got to make a big ass ball. Oh, just make a big ass ball. We don't care. Big ass ball. Yeah, I can tell you right now, playing the game in like high frame rate feels real good. It feels real good.
That's good.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, this high frame rate feels so good.
Well, I bought a video game. I bought a bunch of video games.
Did you now?
Yes. I spent $400 on video games.
Oh my god.
That's not including the gifts I bought for people.
Nice. Oh my god.
So I have received Lies Bar, Sins of the Solar Empire 2 Premium Edition, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, Tricky Madness, RoboCop Rogue City, Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 1 and 2, Flip Witch, Forbidden Sex X, Batman Arkham Collection, and Okami.
I've heard a few of these.
I also purchased Suicide Squad, Killed the Justice League for Ben, and Dragon Age Veilguard for another friend. I have to scroll up and actually look. Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion, and Indiana Jones: The Fate of Atlantis, and Mass Effect Legendary Edition, who I'm now going to bully somebody about.
You know, Legendary Edition.
Yeah, you know, the greatest game trilogy that's ever been made.
Yep.
Mass Effect.
Although it is weird because I look at my library and it says I have the trilogy, but then you look on Steam and there's like 2 different versions of the trilogy, and you're like, ah.
So Legendary Edition's the remake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And the other one, it was just like updated so it'll work on a computer, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like I know every time I look, I go, don't I have the Mass Effect? Why does it say I not have Mass Effect? Oh, right, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks like I have the Legendary Edition. So
yeah, now I have to decline it. So now I have to go cancel.
Although it looks like I can still purchase Mass Effect 2 2010 edition for $6.
Hold on, I actually have to look now and see what game she wants.
Wasn't one of these Mass Effects is that you couldn't? Oh, it was the first Mass Effect. That's what it was. Like, you couldn't necessarily play it on Steam because bullshit about Xbox or something. So you can play the second one and you can play the first one, or no, the third one, but you can't play the first one on PC, which was weird. But then eventually you can finally play the third one. Or no, the first one, I mean. God, confusing.
Yeah.
God, what a schmozzle of garbage that is.
I mean, the thing that like kind of was like, hey, is like, the thing that makes like that game good is like, the thing that makes that game good is, how do I put it? God damn it. Well, now I own it. There we go.
And you own it.
There we go. Let's see if this goes through. I'm trying to be nice and sending people games, and it's like, hey, here you go. Here's a game for you.
Well, if you send them, a nice game and not a troll game, then
I
then
sent
that would be...
somebody Mass Effect.
Oh,
and she goes, I don't want to play this. And I was like, but why?
But it's Mass Effect,
but it's
though.
Mass Effect.
In fact, if anything, it's like
the
supporting the trans rights before that happened.
Why would you say that? Why would you say that?
Because technically, yeah.
But no. No, because the Mass Effect... Okay, so you're probably referring to the Andromeda thing, controversy, which was... Okay, so Andromeda has the worst controversies because Andromeda is a really bad video game.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was overcooked and undercooked at the same time.
Josh... Josh, it was like, well, okay. So there's two things that like happened. Was like, so Mass Effect Andromeda came out, and Josh is like, hey Jeff, you shouldn't support this game, okay? And I'm like, no, Josh, you're wrong. You're 100% wrong. Okay, stop being wrong, Josh. You're just trying to ruin this for me. Okay, it's gonna be great.
Oh no,
it's gonna be the best Mass Effect game ever made. Okay, look,
and then I put my hands on my face, go, oh no,
and then Josh goes, no, Jeff, you have to understand. Okay, they're failing at like some basic things. I'm like, no, Josh, you're just wrong. Okay, let me tell you, it's gonna be the greatest game ever made. And Josh goes, Jeff, just wait. Okay. And then Josh, I was like all ready to pre-order the game, and then Josh goes, here's a video of their lip syncing.
All right, I think I did send you the lip syncing of this.
Yeah. Here's a video of them lip syncing. And so I was like, okay. And I watched the video, and then I immediately was like, oh God. And apparently that wasn't the issue for like some people, because the issue was that there was a character in the game who's canonically trans. She was on hormone therapy for 1,000 years. So basically, like, while she was in stasis, she was on hormone therapy. And she dead names herself. And this was apparently controversial. And everybody was like, I actually do not give a shit at all. And this was like something where it was like articles were written about it. And it was just like, you don't do that to trans people. It's so wrong. And then there was everybody else who was like, the game's bad. Like, really bad. Like, really, really bad. Like, the writing is just awful. And everybody else was just like, no, you can't be transphobic. That's transphobic. How dare you dead name? And it's like, oh, okay. I think...
I mean, if you're transitioning and you're sleeping through that, you come out the other side and you go, oh, hold on.
My name was Alec.
Yep.
Like, I don't think people give a shit. Per se. Oh, is this running? Okay, good. Yeah. So, like, when people were, like, freaking out, I was just like, why are you freaking out? There's nothing really to be upset about. It's just, there's literally nothing here. And everyone's just like, no. And I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, whatever. So that was that game's controversy. In a nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, no. Mass Effect Legendary Edition is Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. So it's the 3 best Mass Effect games. Whether 5 is good remains to be seen.
I know they're supposedly working on it.
Mm-hmm. who knows?
Yup. Who knows?
Is that podcast?
I guess so.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the Black Mind Games podcast. Thank you, Josh. Oh, no, wait, no. We have one more topic. Christmas gifts. I got a bidet. Josh, what did you get?
For my Christmas gift, I got a not a bidet, but a board game of Block Us.
Okay, so I got something that sprays water up your ass, and you got a board game.
I kind of jealous. I want something to spray water in my butt.
Okay, and
make that whole clean.
And GW is now being boycotted by local game stores.
Oh,
they pissed off their local game stores, and people are now really upset. And Paradise Games, who's local to Spruce Grove, basically was like, "Hey, this game's bad. Shut the fuck up. Stop doing things. We're trying to run a business here, and you're not giving us product to run this business." And GW basically went, "Well, it's not like you're not going to carry us." And they're like, "Okay, want to bet?"
What a bet.
So they stopped carrying them. This sounds like as if GW is kind of trying to be Apple in a situation where it's like they should really just be Microsoft, where it's like, "Hey, I want something, please give it to me." But they're also like,
I mean, in the world of 3D printers, I think you should definitely be like, "Oh yeah, we can," kind of pulling their pulling the collar on their shirt, going, "Yeah, we'll help you with that."
So here's how backwards GW is. In local tournaments, like an official like GW run tournaments, you cannot run 3D printed miniatures.
I mean, I get that. That's like Magic the Gathering. You can't use proxies.
Yeah. So
that's fine.
But here's the thing: is that on the flip side, if you're a local game store, you're going to allow people to play with whatever miniature they want. It's not going to.
Right.
And 3D printing is so good nowadays; it's like pretty hard to tell.
Yeah.
So here's GW's genius plan. We just tell people to go fuck themselves, and if they use 3D printers, they're bad. And we'll just make new sculpts of the models that already exist, even though people are fine with sculpts of models that already exist. So what's been happening a lot more and more and more is people just get fucking pissed off, and they just go, "Nope, fuck this. I'm not doing this anymore. Fuck off."
I see.
And it goes about as well as you expect. So the fact that GW is not able to keep the products on the shelf, that's kind of concerning.
It's like people, either there's a lot of demand or that they just can't. Yeah.
Pretty much.
So really it's like, just you should have.
Yeah. So yeah. That was kind of the main thing. People are blaming wokeism on killing GW. Meh. GW's always been shitheads, even before the wokehead. So let's keep that in mind. But I've also gotten completely into Legacy of Kain lore. And that game is fucking weird.
I know for the first thing that happened to, well, not Kain. Kain was like the big bad guy, wasn't he?
So the way that Legacy of Kain starts with is Legacy of Kain, or Blood Omen, Legacy of Kain. So the franchise is technically called Blood Omen, Legacy of Kain.
Right.
That game basically is Kain becomes a vampire. It's him starting out. He has the Heart of Darkness. All of that fun stuff. The story is like he has to go stop he has to go basically get a bunch of pillars and stuff like that and stop the pillars from corrupting and basically save the world. Okay.
Hmm.
The sequel to Legacy of Kain is Soul Reaver, where if you choose the bad ending, which is the canonical ending, Kain
Oh.
will resurrect a bunch of people as vampires. One of these people is Raziel, who spawns wings. Kain is jealous and hurt by this winged creature, so he rips the fucking wings off and sends Raziel into the abyss. As a result, Raziel begins to basically die, mutate, and basically play the entire game as a zombie man. Soul Reaver 2 is a sequel to that game. It starts getting into timey-wimey bullshit.
Okay.
And then that's followed up by Legacy of Kain, Blood Omen 2, which is Kain alternative timeline. You learn about the Herodric Scroll, the Hodron, the true big bads of the story. And then that's followed up with Legacy of Kain Damnation, which is like the cap end of the Soul Reaver trilogy. It's weird. It's complicated.
Huh. Sounds like I should give that game a try.
It's Legacy of Kain as a franchise, like in looking at the lore and stuff like that. It's like, okay, like sure, I'll look into this because I want to try Soul Reaver because I hear nothing but good things about like Legacy of Kain.
Yeah.
And then I was like looking at the lore, I'm like, this is fucking weird. And this seems crazy. And then you find out that Amy Hennig was developing on this, and you're like, oh. All right.
Oh, you can get the remake on Steam, apparently. At least Soul Reaver 1 and 2. Legacy of Kain, don't think I could see that on here.
Yeah, well, I have the remake, so.
Well, put that on my wish list.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think that's a podcast.
Yeah, I think that's a podcast.
So, anyways, thank you everyone for listening to the Black Mind Games podcast. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, listeners. You can listen to us every Thursday on blackmindgames.podbean.com. Subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting app of choice. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night. Bye.
And
It's 2025, the future's here, but my gaming shelf's looking kinda unclear. New releases, nah, I'll take a pass. I'm still stuck in the games from generations past. Controller in hand, I'm a time machine, playing games from 2017. Steam sales hit and my wallet's drained, but the games I buy, they just remain. I'm living in the past, scrolling through my queue. 2025, but I got backlog close. No shiny new worlds, no cutting edge tech. Just me and these classics, I'm never perfect. Every console's VR, and AI's in the mix, but I'm booting up my PS3 for a quick fix. Skyrim for the 10th time, mods loaded in, cause new games can't match where I've already been. The world's got ray tracing, AI that learns, but my copy of Mass Effect still burns. Buying old gems off the bargain rack. Physical discs, yeah, I'm bringing it back. I'm living in the past, scrolling through my queue. 2025, but I got backlog close. No shiny new worlds, no cutting a check. Just me and these classics, I'm never perfect. They say try to metaverse, it's the next big thing, but I'd rather let Commander Shepard do the talking. Why pay full price for a bug-filled grind when my backlog stacked with the greatest of time? Indie darlings, cult hits, they're calling my name. I've got Hollow Knight and Disco Elysium still in the game. Used to chase hype, now I'm just chasing deals. Second-hand games, giving me all the feels. I'm living in the past, scrolling through my queue. 2025, but I got backlog blues. No shiny new worlds, no cutting edge tech. Just me and these classics, I'll never perfect. So here I am, with my old saves, rewriting history in nostalgic waves. 2025's here, and it feels kinda cruel, cause my backlog's the only gaming rule.
As a victim of this heinous crime of being accused of being a furry, I have sent Ben a video game.
Huh.
And this I sent him a video game, okay? As
Yeah.
a good friend, okay? You know, hey Ben, it's Christmas. Here's a video game. I'm not giving you two, but as a friend, I will send you a video game. I also played Alan in Battletech this week, and well, we can talk about that if we want, but
He did a job.
oh, I might have let me put it like this. I described the mechs, the combat in three forms. So I was running a quad, and you know, there's a gif of a ravenous dog, and it's the dog picked up. That was my Vargas. My Dargus was basically running around like a chicken with its head cut off, going in his backfield, causing a lot of pain and suffering. I was running a Marauder 2, and the Marauder 2 hit the same mech twice, so killed it.
Cool.
So it boomed headshot. The Marauder 2 also dodged a literal kick.
Yeah.
So it literally fell down and dodged. The Wolverine was the mech that basically got targeted the most.
Yeah.
It somehow survived.
Oh.
And then the BV,
Weird.
the BV mech, the fill-in, it just was buzz every single time. So it basically, the way the match went, could basically be described as like Dice fucked over Alan hard, followed by everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very good for me. It was a fun match for me. I don't know if it was fun for Alan. But Ben, me and Ben have been fighting this week. And his argument is that I sent him a horrible is that I refuse to admit that I'm a furry. And my argument is that I am not a furry.
Uh-huh.
I just want to fuck aliens.
I mean, that's also just a separate grade variant of furry.
No, because Asari is basically human.
I
Okay.
mean,
I wouldn't
the
want to
art
fuck a
direction-
Tyranid.
Here's the thing: the art direction of Mass Effect is still, I would say, in the realm of humanoid bodies.
Yes.
Like, sure, I think science has figured out that if
I
we're going to find
wouldn't wanna-
other space aliens,
I wouldn't want
they're
to
gonna
have
the
sex
same
with a
traits.
tentacle monster.
Well, okay, again, if we find other sapient space aliens that have gonna be successful in evolution, they're gonna more or less have the same traits as we do.
Is banging a dwarf make me a furry?
That's a human still.
Okay.
Just shorter.
Okay, and banging an elf is fine?
That's, I would argue, still human.
What about an orc?
They just have they have underbite.
Okay. So we've established this point. Okay. So good. Okay. So Ben has been accusing me of. So Ben started this entire transaction by sending me a Santa Claus of who the fuck asked for furry baddies, and then it's a gif of him saying I did, and I said, "What? No, I'm not sending you furry baddies." And he sent me another picture of, "You gotta smile, dummy. Do it." And I'm like, "Do what? Send me furry baddies. You want me to send you furries? You want me to find furries to send you?" I respond. He says, "I know you got them. Give them up. You're a closet furry." So I sent him pictures of my gallery. I'm like, as this is happening, it's it's Thursday, right? Yeah, it's Thursday. So as this is happening, I'm basically like working and like trying to do stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I know you have this stuff, man." And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. So then he goes, so I'm getting upset at this point. Then I start sending him porn. So I sent him a cat girl of your age, which is not a furry. Okay. They're superior in every way. There's no fur on them. If you sleep with a cat girl, you're not banging a cat. Okay.
God, I always hate the anime excuse of they put cat ears on a chick and go, "It's a cat girl."
Yes.
And I'm like, no, that's just a human with ears.
Yes, and they're better. And you know what? They're better than an actual woman. You know why?
Why?
Because the cat girl doesn't mouth off to me.
I think it still can.
The worst thing, the cat girl has their own downsides. Okay, mainly changing litter boxes.
I know it's gonna be the downside is. The downside is it's going to be more sassy, and also it's going to not pay attention to you for the slightest. And also, when you're trying to give it an affection, it will just look away.
Perfect woman, wife material, right there.
All the traits of cat stuck in a woman, and it's like, is that any different?
Doesn't give a shit about me. Okay, whatever. So I sent him porn. He sends me furry shit.
So it's going to be a cold war, sending each other back and forth furry shit.
So he started. So this is getting ridiculous. So I respond. Okay, my roommate gives me money, so I buy everyone's Christmas gifts. Okay, I bought a friend Dragon Age Veilguard, and then I bought Ben Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
Yep,
and. This apparently was a transgression that was way too far, way too far. Okay, you know, and for me, the transgression was when he sent me of "Man, I am so sorry I broke your neck with a big voluptuous thick ass. I am so sorry" of guy furry and a girl furry. That was a transgression. Okay, so I was like, "Fuck you! I'm getting revenge. You can have this in your fucking library, and I'm going to make fun of you for the rest of eternity." Okay, so he declines it. Okay, my generosity, Josh. Okay, I am the victim here of generosity. I got my friend a good video game, and that wasn't good enough. And
not good enough at all.
Yeah, apparently, I was not capable of getting somebody a video game that I liked, you know, and this is somebody who I like to hang out with, and apparently buying him a video game was wrong. So then he starts sending me more furry shit. He sent me some tomboys, and now it's gotten to the point where it's like, okay, our chat is literally that was full of memes and life and greatness. It's just full.
Now it's furry shit.
It's just full of porn. There's so much porn.
That's your fault.
How is this my fault?
Oh no, you kind of started it, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I just took it to 11.
It was at a 10 or 9.
It was at a 3, and I responded in kind. I got my okay. I'm not the one who bought. I'm the one who spent the money to buy my friend a video game that I thought he was going to like. No, actually, let me rephrase that. I was the one who spent the money to buy my friend a video game that I knew he was going to hate. Out of an act of kindness. An act of kindness, okay? It was an act of kindness.
Okay.
Okay? Cannot stress that enough. It was an act of kindness. Totally not a white elephant gift.
You know,
And he basically responded by telling me to go fuck myself and dumped porn in my lap.
You know, I remember the time you gave me a game. I forget what it was. It was some clicker. And then I immediately just went like, no, you get the clicker too. And I bought it and gave it back to you. So I was like, oh, I'll keep this and you can have this too.
What game was that?
Like, I can't remember. I know it's on my list, but man, it's all the way down there. Some weird clicker game with anime chicks.
Sakura Clicker?
I think? Or the furry version of that? Whatever the hell that was.
I don't think I have a furry.
Like, I know for sure that you tried to be like, ha ha ha, funny joke. And I go, ha ha ha, I'll repeat that same joke. And
Revenge is best cold. Yes, but here's the thing, right? Is like, when I fuck with you, Josh,
yeah,
you're at least capable of fucking with me back. And it's not even like I fuck with you in such a way that like it's bad. It's I fuck with you. I bought you a video game that you'll hate.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, here you go, Jeff. Here's a video game that you'll hate. You at least accept the gift.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I have to wait for Steam in order to send me a refund. I have to wait for them twice to send me a refund. I have to explain to support basically the reason why the games got declined. And they're basically like, why did these games get declined? And I'm like, because I don't know. Okay.
So why did these decline? Well, I was sending them as a joke.
I was buying them for my friend who I enjoy his time, and I wanted him to have it so that way then he can have a video game that he enjoys.
I thought it was funny at the time.
I totally was not thinking that this was going to end up starting a war, which it has.
I still thought still funny. I'm still laughing. Friend, not so much.
Friend is now insulted. Has started sending me shit tons of furry porn.
And then person on Steam goes, or no, the guy who's reading all this, all the typing.
He's also sent me,
sir, please, this is Steam. I don't care.
The funny,
sir, this is a Wendy's.
It's already bad enough that like I'll be playing D&D. He'll send me a message. I'll go check it, and it's porn. And like, of course, porn. I'm sitting next to the girl, so I'm like, well, fuck, damn it, shit. Can't be something interesting like politics or a meme that's like funny. Nope, has to be a girl getting fucking railed. Because we can't have nice things. Yeah. Anyway, shall we sync and start the podcast?
We probably should.
Sync in 3, 2, 1.